What's up, guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 1988 Chevy C1500 Silverado. Up front is a 5.7-liter V8. Down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this pickup truck because it has an LS1 under the hood. It's an extremely well done truck, and there's a lot of really cool intricacies in here that I'm very excited to share with you. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to the reason we're here, which is that LS1 under the hood. Well, it's a 5.7-liter V8 pulled actually out of an F-body Camaro. So this engine wasn't originally meant for this particular truck. However, it has had a cam done to it, and on the dyno, it put out 370 horsepower to the rear wheels. Although it wasn't meant for this truck, it actually is a relatively common swap, or at least LS swaps are very common in general. There's a couple reasons for that. First of all is availability and just the way it matches up with this truck. It's a GM product going into a GM product, and they tend to play pretty nice together when you do that. The other reason is for parts availability and modification. Go to any performance shop and they're going to know how to work on LS's. And if the owner ever needs a part, he can always just go down to the local AutoZone, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to have the part that he needs. This truck has been incredibly reliable, and it still retains the air conditioning and cruise control, so it's actually kind of a perfect daily driver. The owner just got back from a 700-mile road trip in this truck without a single issue, and that is a testament to how great this engine is. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic, our good friend the 4L60E. Now, this has been modified slightly. It has a high stall torque converter on it because of that cam, and they built this truck with the original 4L60E, put it on the dyno, and the 4L60E exploded. So they modified it slightly, and now it's doing a little bit better. Last but not least, it is, of course, rear-wheel drive. The C trucks were rear-wheel drive, while the K trucks were 4-wheel drive. And this has a modified rear end with, I believe, 342 rear gears. If I'm wrong, you're seeing the proper rear gearing on the screen now. How does it feel to drive the LS swapped C1500? It's great. I love it. It feels how this truck should have came from the factory, as a sport fun truck. Now, I would love to drive the 454 SS of this generation to sort of compare it to that, because I've never driven that. But from where I'm sitting right now, this is fantastic. I have all the power I would ever need out of a fun truck like this. I also have the usability of the truck. The owner said that he's packed the bed full of mulch. He uses it for the hardware store and things like that. However, he can also take it to shows. It looks good. It's presentable. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife of automobiles, and that's how it feels to drive. Although it is lowered, it's not egregiously lowered. My back or spine isn't being crushed by these Chicago potholes, so I'm doing okay today. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I actually get aftermarket gauges that play really nicely with the LS1. I also get little digital readouts on these gauges of what gear I'm in, which is always nice for older cars because they're so numb with the column shifters sometimes that I can't tell which gear I'm in, so this gives me some good reassurance. The steering wheel, of course, has been replaced. Really like this smaller unit. Kind of gives it that muscle truck feel. And off to the left, we have a climate control vent, our headlight and parking light switches. And moving on to the door, we have power windows and power locks. So the Silverado was actually a trim level back in this era. It wasn't the name of the truck yet. And so it was a higher trim, so it got nice things like power windows and power locks. Off to my right, I do have my Delco radio and climate controls. This was sort of that digital era, 1988. They were trying to do this cool vaporwave style, and that really comes through here, not only with the digital readout, but just the way that everything is laid out. The hot and cold on these sort of sliders, the seek and bass and treble and balance and all of these great buttons on the radio. Absolutely love to see that. But off to the right, we have 2 climate vents, as well as our auto-reversing cassette player, along with eject and program. Then we do have our ashtray and cigarette lighter that also holds the now aftermarket cruise control. And we have cup holders off to the right. So we will do a big freaking bottle test. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic moment. Not only does the C1500 from 1988 pass, but this is now the oldest automobile to pass the big freaking bottle test ever. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion. Then we gotta talk about the bench seat. It's really, really comfortable. I feel like a broken record. I say this in all my GM reviews, but GM knew how to do comfortable seats. Whether it was a basic truck like this or their sports cars, they all had very, very good seats, and the C1500 is no different. However, we don't have any back seats, but let's hop into the back and talk about the bed. All right, so we're on the back of the C1500, and we don't really have much. We do have a tailgate. We do have this nice rubberized floor mat, and we do have this old cooler that the owner uses to store tools and whatnot, which is really, really cool. Love the aesthetic of that and how clean it keeps the rest of the bed. This is also who did the LS swap, so go check them out for sure. Show them some love because this truck was so well done. But that is the rear bed of the C1500. Nothing too crazy, but to be expected. Now we gotta talk about the looks. And of course, this is the more square body of truck. These are also known as the OBS, but this generation of Ford pickups were also known as the OBS. OBS just means old body style, so it can kind of get confusing. If you're talking to truck guys about OBSs, you might have to specify Chevy or Ford. But I also love the patina. This is a Southern truck, actually an Arkansas truck, so all this patina you see on it is authentic. It's real. Even where there were magnets on the tailgate burned into the paint, I absolutely love that. That's part of this truck's history. This truck has been used and abused all of its life, as a truck should and would be. I like that the paint itself tells its own story along with the rest of the truck itself. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this 1988 Chevy C1500 with an LS1 under the hood? Well, I'd be lying to you if I said it was anything besides great. This is an amazing, amazing truck. In terms of the truck world, it does kind of do everything. It is reliable. It makes great power. It looks good. It drives really well. It's fun to drive. It attracts attention. People like it. People enjoy it. People on the internet try so hard to discredit the LS engine, but it is just so good. I mean, discredit it all you want, but I surely can't. It gets the job done time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. Oh, and it sounds so good. It's just, I can't find anything wrong with this truck. I really, really can't. It does everything I want and need. And why would I ever need or want anything besides that? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Pete for letting me take out his LS C1500. Pete has been absolutely wonderful to work with. I appreciate him very much. We're also filming another one of his vintage trucks here today. I don't know if it'll already be out on the channel or if it's coming out soon, but Pete has been nothing but the best, and I appreciate him very, very much. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.